Hello and welcome to the 34th episode of the Chicken Chess Club podcast. My name is Gustafsson. Apologies for my not perfect sound quality. It's a long, very sad story of traveling and being lazy. But I am in sunny Sitges next to Barcelona, a beautiful hotel overlooking a golf course. So this is like Peter Heine porn. Peter Heine, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. My fingers stopped freezing. I mean, the day basically started with that we have, for Danish standard, a snowstorm here in Lithuania with a bunch of snow. And I had to get my oldest kid to school. And, when we came to the car, it was just completely full with snow all over. So I took the one you took to scrape the windows to try and remove the snow. But after 6-7 minutes, standing basically with a spoon trying to remove snow, some kind guy looked at me and came with a shovel, and that kind of helped a bit. So it was possible to remove the snow there. But it was a scary experience also driving in this kind of weather. But we managed. He's in school and I'm back. And to talk of more positive things, I was the last week in Denmark, which was generally great. Meeting a lot of people, but also, very positive things. You go to do a lecture on chess and Carlsen and whatever, and there's maybe 60, 70 adults showing up, buying a free course dinner, listening, and then the next day you go to a chess in schools, and there's a couple of hundred kids. You get to talk about chess, you play a simul, and it's extremely enjoyable to be with kids interested in chess. It's basically very positive, the reverse of my Twitter career, right? People enjoying your company and such. So basically, it's been great. And to end with some politics, as always, the reason I had to handle my kid on my own in the snow in the morning is my wife is in Paris. It's the 100 years of Lithuania-French connections. So, we are celebrating that. And, I would really like to invite Laurent to come to the Lithuanian embassy tonight. And there will be, I won't be there, but there will be a Nielsen praising how great France is. There will probably be free baguettes and stuff like that. So you're very much invited. Tomorrow there is some donor conference, but that's politics. So all in all, good. But it's good to have my fingers back in shape.
All right, that was the Chicken Chess Club episode 34. See you next week. Laurent Fressinet.
Thank you for the invitation, Peter. It's a bit short notice because you just told me 5 minutes before the show started, but you didn't know much in advance, or you didn't want to tell me. I don't know.
Compared to our listeners, they will get it 2 days late. So I think you actually have a chance.
I can't make it tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Actually, I have a bit of time. That could be fun. I had also a masterclass this weekend. But I'm much less success. I went to a chess club, but there were no 60, 70 people. It was more 15, 20. So I'm much less successful than you, apparently. It's going. I'm still a bit sick, but much better now. One of my daughters is clearly, she got my flu. So that's not really good. Yeah, the winter is going on. We had some commentaries. We had some fun, Jan. It was really nice to comment with you and with the highlight of this fantastic match. We'll talk about it later, I guess. Nihal against Giri, where chess won. And we had a great guest. We had Magnus as a guest, and that was the highlight of my week, I would say.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable. I don't think I've had that much fun doing commentary for a while. And it was the rare beast where it's both fun and also we learned something, or I did at least, because Magnus dropped so much knowledge.
I don't know if it will be rude with Magnus, but spending 3-4 hours with Magnus, I never learned that much than during this commentary session when he was giving a lot of advices, Chess. Chess. Doping a lot of chess knowledge, even showing some prep of Peter at times. That was clearly amazing, and even practical stuff in Blitz. Well, the whole thing was, as you said, both enjoyable for the fun because it was a great match, and also for the learning experience.
Yeah, we'll get to the match more when we cover the chess week in great detail. For you, France also won as expected for you against England, so the week can't have been that bad.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, that was the second highlight, but I did expect it. So we had some nice celebration as well.
But you do agree that you were lucky in the match, right?
It's not luck, you defend and then it's typical, this guy Deschamps, who is the coach, he always played like that, yeah? So he's very defensive. And then, we have these guys who can score at any moment, actually. These strikers, Giroud, Mbappé, they can score any minute. But yeah, England had a very good team and GG, as they say. Yeah, what can we do? We won.
Yeah, congratulations. I'll be rooting against you in the semifinals and unfortunately, I'm afraid in the finals as well.
Oh, Morocco has a chance, I hope. I mean, it's going to be a very defensive match. Let's see.
Look at Laurent's face, how much of a chance he thinks.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
No, the final, the final, to be fair, I hope it will be France against Argentina, and then I will be very relaxed because I love this guy Messi. So either way, if Messi wins the World Cup, it's fine. I'm fine with it.
Wow.
If France wins, I'm also fine with it. So that would be a win-win situation. So that's my hope.
Okay. I hope all your dreams come true. Someone whose dreams did not come true last night is our dear friend, Laurent Trent. He had a chess boxing fight against Armand Hambleton from the Chess Brass. And Laurent got knocked down. I was watching almost live. And yeah, it was tough to see. Did you guys watch the fight?
I did watch the replay that morning when you mentioned it because I saw my my Twitter timeline. Just talking a lot about it. Well, I was surprised by the format. So this is chess. You play 2 minutes of chess. It's 5 minutes games, so it's very, very fast without increment. So I'm sure on that side, you must have been very happy to see that, Jan.
Are you going to complain? It should be 3+2, so you can't be flagged.
It's 5 minutes, so 2 minutes, and then you have a round of chess for 2 minutes, and then a round of boxing for 2 minutes. And it's true that Laurent was nothing much happened in the chess part, but yeah, on the boxing part, it was much more. It was difficult for Laurent. Let's face it. And then at the end, it was a technical knockout, which I don't know. I'm not an expert to comment on that, but I saw that Laurent complained right after the match. And then he said on Twitter that the ref was right. So I don't know, but it's fun, of course, to watch chess players fighting each other in this chess boxing. Did you watch the other one? What did you think about the... do you know something about box?
Yeah, of course. But let's... I'm a big boxing expert. So first of all, shout out to Armand. He came prepared. Like he landed some punches. I don't think it's easy to land like that. He looked incredibly focused. And that was impressive stuff. As for the knockout... You could see that Lawrence's legs were like drifting backwards. And I think then the arbiter is supposed to end it because if your legs don't seem to follow your body anymore, the risk of injury is too high. So I think he did the right thing.
You actually know something about this?
Yeah, or I read Twitter replies an hour ago. Okay. Either could be true. But yeah, it was an impressive performance by Armand. It's easy to criticize Lawrence because he's been training boxing as far as I know for quite some years now. But yeah, it must be very difficult also with all the pressure under the limelight. And he talks so much trash always before. I'm not always sure he does himself a favor by putting all that pressure on himself. That's how he is.
That's the problem with Laurent, because he's doing great stuff. I mean, I would never do that. And it's clear that he has been training, putting a lot of effort in it. But he's bragging so much that's a pity. Without the bragging, it would be much better, of course, and would look and the whole picture would look much better. But yeah, that's how it is.
It's the story of Laurent. He gets knocked down, but he gets up again, and I'm sure we'll see him do more exciting things in the future. Not become a chess grandmaster, but like exciting stuff. But the other match, Andrea Botes against Dina Belenkaya. I was very impressed with Andreas Botes' boxing. The posture, the aggression, the conditioning. Oof. And she got robbed. It felt like she got robbed. In the final round of boxing, the arbiter started counting down Dina 3 times because, Dina was shaky, and that bought her so much time that she made it through the round. So it felt unfair watching it. On the other hand, of course, Dina is the much better chess player. She actually missed a mate in 1 in the blitz portion earlier, so she wouldn't have had to go through that 3rd round already. And then she did it smartly. Like it's not her fault. It's the arbiter's fault for buying her all that time. And yeah, she made it through. 1 on the chessboard. Impressive stuff. But yeah, Andrea Botes, I wouldn't want to fight her. That war looked very, very impressive.
Yeah, and actually she had a 4th mate, or I mean, she made mate in 1.
No, she had a mate in 1. It was like mate in 3 after that, but like that they reached the final boxing round. Well, if you give the mate in 1,
exactly. So that was a big. She played. I mean, she had a strategy to play incredibly fast in the blitz game, and she's, as you said, a much better player. She was playing fast, and she was basically as dominant as. In chess as Andrea was in boxing. So that feels a bit uneven match, but that was interesting, and clearly I don't know anything about boxing, if it's normal to, but yeah, it's clear that from let's say a feeling of someone who doesn't know anything at boxing, it feels very unfair, because when you are counting 3 times, you lose like 30 seconds. And it was clear that for Dina it was very good news, actually. But that's a referee decision, so I don't know how it.
Yeah, it didn't feel right, but I'm also not too versed in the rules. It felt wrong in the moment.
Yeah,
but what can you do? It was a good show. Say what you will about boxing or chess boxing, but credit to everybody who partakes in that. I'm sure it's for. They have their own agendas, but still, you gotta put yourself out there and you gotta actually do it. So I was impressed and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, congrats to everyone. Yeah, that was it's always fun, I think. So it's a bit. I mean, the format, I think it's a bit too fast, but okay. I watched some chess boxing when it was less, more boxing, more chess, so a bit more interesting, but. Yeah, they are basically, I think, all of them. Maybe not Andrea, but all of them. They just started the boxing part a few months ago. So
no, Laurent has been training boxing for some years.
From some years, yeah. Okay,
I think so.
Okay.
Anyway, Peter, what we want to know: Sutowski Nielsen chess boxing match. Who says no? Where do we host it? When does it happen?
I'm ready. I mean, I would ideally prefer a debate, but I mean, we can also box. That's fine. I think I even challenged Nigel at some point as well. But I mean, you're not debating if chess boxing makes any kind of sense at all, because for me, it's difficult for me to see the connection. I mean, for instance, in other mixed sports, like let's say biathlon, you go skiing and you go shooting. I mean, that actually has some practical relevance if you want to go winter hunting for bears or something like that. I mean, or
kickboxing, you box and then you kick.
Well, that is 2 fights you put together. What connects chess and boxing? I mean, that is a bit difficult for me to see, I have to admit.
But it's the same discrepancy as biathlon, where you're doing something very, very physically challenging, and then you have to bring your heart rate down, and you have to focus on mental activity and precision.
I still think biathlon is somewhat closer connected. It also comes from, let's say, winter wars and stuff like this. I mean, these actually have some practical relevance. It's very rare you find yourself in a situation where you have to play chess and then to beat the crap out of the guy afterwards. At least that's my experience.
I don't know. You were less of a bully at kids' chess tournaments than I was.
Yeah, that could be. So, no, I mean, I probably belong in the very small minority who probably thinks that, well, it's a bit sad that chess has to be marketed in a way because it feels a bit demeaning. And, it's nothing to do with chess. It's more trying to create some kind of context. I mean, I remember at some point the only stories in the Danish newspapers would be like French grandmaster on the national team, being drunk or not showing up, or the French team cheating at the Olympiad. I mean, these things will get into the news, but nothing about chess.
Just to be clear, those were two different events. The one was first was 2008, the second was
You're right, but
not the same.
I mean,
tournament.
These things they would cover in the Danish media, but nothing about chess. And no, I mean, I actually acknowledge that a lot of people find this very interesting, and that's great. It just doesn't really interest me. I like chess to some extent. I like boxing.
I don't think it's. On my end, I don't think it's interesting. I just think it's fun and.
I understand it's entertaining, and I mean, I was rooting for Laurent's Trent, no doubt about that. I was a bit sad when I woke up in the morning, but then you start trying to clean your car. There's other things in life, but I mean, also, well, my hunch is that some segments of chess care about it. I mean, you haven't seen Gustafsson tweeting that this was a great fight, right? I mean, I think sort of this classical chess players cares less.
Hang on, are you on the same team?
I think.
Yeah, I think.
And the chess boxing haters
I
team?
think so.
Finally.
I think so. Here I side with Gustafsson and the FIDE guys. They just seem to be ignoring it, right? I mean.
But you would still chess boxing.
Oh.
Actually.
I think Gustafsson was the last ACP at some point organized a tournament where you could adjourn your game.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah, so he's incredibly classical on such topics. That's why he doesn't want this, what Magnus more or less suggests is these rapid games for the World Championship classical match. I think he's very old-fashioned.
No, but that's a very different debate.
Even more than
But
me.
we can enjoy a little chess boxing without giving up classical chess. No, it has nothing to do with each other.
Yeah.
And what's the worst thing that could happen? That more people start playing chess? I mean, I don't see the danger.
No, I agree with that.
It's not like it's stealing the headlines that would otherwise go to chess tournaments.
I agree that it's not like 100% match of the audiences, so you're actually getting chess to quite a lot of people. No, it's great. I just can't be excited about it. I mean, I haven't seen the game. I mean, if Laurent by accident refuted the Berlin, please let me know. But I doubt it. So it's,
He got slightly worse in the London
you
system.
actually saw the game. Respect. Yeah, cool. So, yeah.
Seems like common chess boxing strategy. The weaker player plays the London system, because then you're supposed to last for a long time.
Exactly.
No. It makes. Someone was saying that in the other match, they were using the strategy of just trying to run away that I was trying to describe as an option in one of the episodes here. But I haven't seen the match. I just saw the tweet.
Yeah.
So no, but also we have to respect that maybe it's the most watched live game. Sort of most people watching a chess game live in history. I don't know if that's true, but it could be actually, right? I mean,
probably not, but even if it is,
I mean,
what's not?
No, that is impressive. One have to, respect that it actually worked. So I mean,
I don't know if Dina's strategy before the match was to run away. I don't think so, but she was getting punched all the time. So I mean, at some point you got to do something about it. So I don't know.
Also, I don't think you can have a strategy if you're not used to boxing, and then someone starts punching you. I think your instincts just take over. No, it's not like.
I think a coach might have. She had a coach, so a coach, I guess, is.
Okay, coach is nice, but he doesn't prepare you for that.
No, but also, I mean, I assume they don't have any idea of the opponent's level, right? I mean,
no, come on, she knew that Bottas was better.
Yeah, but to what extent? I mean, that's.
Yeah, but then you start to get scared. I mean,
I think it's also just the time you need to prepare. No, from what I heard, that fight was very last minute, and she only had a month. It's not that long to become good at boxing.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, but I mean,
anyway, she won and she put herself out there. So credit to her, credit to everybody.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the show. I also enjoyed the show that Laurent mentioned earlier. On the Speed Chess Championship, we covered the epic match of Giri versus Nihal. I lost 10 French dollars to Laurent, which I still haven't paid, but I'm sure I will be reminded. And you will certainly get them. That was fun. Nihal finally won against Anish after he was up huge in the 3-1 portion. So it's a Speed Chess Championship where they play, an hour and a half of 5+1, then an hour of 3+1, then 30 minutes of bullet, then all the points get added up. It's a great format. You get increment and everything. And yeah, Anish was behind big time. Then he won 4 games in a row in the bullet.
Yeah,
things look good for my bet. But then Nihal came back, forced an Armageddon, and won in the end. It was all very dramatic. And yeah, it was normally, since I'm obviously self-loathing, I don't advertise broadcasts and stuff we do. But that was really so much fun and getting so much knowledge out of Magnus in 4 hours. I would really advise everybody to go check it out.
Yeah, and it's actually wasn't bad because after the 3+1 section, as you said, Nihal was +3, and he was so dominant in the time scramble that Magnus said Anish had 10% chances of coming back. So I gave you 10-1, and you could take. At some point, Anish was +1, and you could take my 100 French dollars. But
that would have been the nicest French dollars.
That would have been really a pity. And and that was that was very close. Of course, this match gets of course exciting when you get to its 1+1, and you have some great fight, and it's very close, and one of the guys doing well at some points and is a bit collapsing, the other one is coming back. So all was there. And we didn't expect it at all. I mean, because we thought Anish could be the favorite in the blitz, in the slower time controls, but in a bullet, I mean, everyone is saying that Nihal is incredibly good. Then on the next round, we didn't comment on that, but he beat Ding as well, which is quite impressive. Yeah, he crushed him 17-9, I think. So amazing by Nihal.
Yeah. Someone else who's pretty good at this is Magnus himself, who also dominated his match against Gukesh. He won like 21-7, and it looked like he started caring less. In the end, it could even have been bigger. He himself wasn't that impressed with his play, but he's so dominant again. Peter, is that because of all the extra training you guys are putting in?
Yeah, I think that he's completely been ignoring me recently, and he seems to be paying off. So, I mean, that works.
There's a bit of a pattern there. Yeah. Whenever you're not in touch, like he
starts crushing. Yeah. No, I mean, it's good for me to be updated on this. I saw the results somewhere that he's played this, but I actually have neither followed his match nor your excellent coverage. Not out of just,
You saw the games?
No, I haven't actually.
That's Magnus Carlsen's head coach, Peter Heine Nielsen, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks. But
he showed so many of your ideas.
I can imagine.
That was amazing.
Makes me.
That was amazing. No, actually, I mean, he played normal openings. And 9-1. I was shocked by the 9-1 in 5+1. That started with a bang. I mean, like 9-1 in 5+1 is clearly against one of the leaders of the new generation. I mean, and then he lost. I mean, he lost few games, one on connection. I mean, like that could have been even bigger as a score. I mean, it's 21-7, and it could be like we could easily imagine 25-4 if Magnus would take it a bit more seriously at the end. So that was amazing.
I will have a look. It seems also I have to in order to, plug the holes that seems to have been appearing. But it's good. He seems to be enjoying this event and seems to be able to crush people. I mean, I actually expected Sarin to beat Girin with a higher score, but quite impressive by Giri hanging in there because Sarin is really an expert here. But I agree, it's a cool event, a bit like chess boxing. It's not my kind of event, but I actually like it a lot in a way. So I'm sort of changing my perspective on this one, and it seems to be very exciting. And I don't know, is it moving forward to a Magnus Hikaru final? But Magnus is playing Caruana next, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this has been brought up on this podcast. Caruana is often not considered a blitz expert, but he actually did beat Nakamura in a blitz match once. So I thought you guys should know that.
Yeah, thanks, Jan. It's
You want some odds? Which odds do you want? You can get back your 10 first.
Oh, no, I'm not taking 10 to 1.
Caruana against Magnus.
No, Magnus is a heavy favorite, of course. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. It's always a pleasure to see Fabi play, even if it's not his.
These two always have fun matches, but maybe this format is as good as it gets for Magnus, right? So
it will be Sarin Nakamura in one of the semifinals, and most likely Magnus will win against Caruana, against the winner of MVL against So, which is, in my opinion, a very, very close match. Hard to say with a favorite.
Despite all we talk about Sarin, we think Nakamura is too big a mouthful for him.
I think so.
Nakamura is a favorite. Nihal keeps improving at everything, I think, quickly, especially in faster time controls. But of course, Nakamura is the favorite. And let's face it, like, no disrespect to my boy Nihal, but a Carlsen Nakamura final is the one we want to see.
Yeah. You're not discounting a billion Indian fans here? You're not sure we're getting the demographics wrong by now?
I'm not sure. I'm also not sure if the Indian fans, if they're all on Team Nihal. I'm not sure what it looks like there. No, don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for Nihal. No. And I think for the chess attention, like Carlsen Nakamura is as big as it gets. No,
that's what I would think, and that would also be my instincts. I just don't grasp the Indian chess boom well enough to sort of be able to say it with certainty anymore. But I mean, I would make the same, educated guess as you. I'm just, you know me. I was trying to be devil's advocate.
A contrarian. You just hate it on the chess boxing and the attention. Yeah. Now you're very worried. Yeah. We're losing out numbers there.
Fair enough.
Anyway, let's get to a topic that's very close to Peter's heart, and I don't mean Manscaped. There is a Chess Federation of Russia presidential election, Peter.
Yeah.
Fill us in on everything. Kayakin had a Telegram post where he called the players that signed the letters and that also still play in the West, I'm paraphrasing here from what I read, traitors.
Okay.
So the players like, Grishuk, did not take that lightly. Grishuk said Kayakin is dead to him as a person since that post. I think many people have felt that way even before.
I actually haven't seen that thing. So, I mean, apparently you follow Kayakin's Telegram more than me. So that is embarrassing.
I do not follow any Kayakin channels, but I read what Grishuk had to say on Reddit Chess.
Okay. That I actually haven't seen. But you're right that there is an ongoing fight about who gets to be president of the Russian Chess Federation. Elections is in maybe like 1 week from now. I think they're going to have on the 19th. There's going to be the elections.
So it's Filatov versus Kayakin for the presidency, right?
It's Filatov versus Kayakin. And, people like me was speculating that, it's a fake elections in terms of that, of course, Filatov is going to win, Kayakin is going to get some post, and then you can say that, we have a democratic process and so on and so forth. You have seen that in many Russian sports elections, if not in real elections as well. But this one actually seems for real. I mean, if you go back a couple of weeks, somebody, speculated that his team Kayakin was spreading quite some dirt about the Russian Chess Federation in one of the Russian papers. Something that how much money Nepomniachtchi was getting, all kind of, some kind of this, some kind of company doing, things of internet coverage quite expensively for FIDE. There was quite some wild rumors there. And now you can see that, then Kayakin was suggested by the Chechen Chess Federation as a presidential candidate. He was appearing with Lavrov, who is the foreign minister of Russia, in some PR post. And now you can see that Filatov has started to hit back. He's presented his team. It includes, I think, Shukov and Gureev, both sanctioned. The Gureev is this, very rich oligarch with the big mansion in London. Shukov, I actually forgot who he is, but has quite some connection in Kremlin and so on and so forth. And
but Peter, those are both pro-Putin Russians running for the Russian presidency. It's not a surprise. There are these connections.
No.
And why should we care so much about it? Like, we're not really rooting for either side, no?
No. Well, I also don't know who to root for. It's more interesting what's happening. As you point out, there seems to be quite a struggle between fractions within Russia at the moment. I mean, Kayakhin and Filatov has always been very close. You only have to go back 2 years. There was this, probably the online Olympiad. I forgot, or maybe some kind of, maybe six teams competing. And Russia was fielding a very strong team online. And they Filatov took out Kayakhin instead of Dubov, despite Dubov being 70 points higher rated, Dubov being the recent rapid world champion. I mean, Dubov and Kayakhin and Filatov has always been allies and being part of the pro-Kremlin thing. That they start fighting internally is rather interesting. So is it that, that Lavrov seems to be, at least to some extent, supporting Kayakhin? Well, you also...
I think you're just... I'm sorry to interrupt, but this Dubov Kayakhin, like you say that it's a support to Kayakhin, I don't know. As a coach, at that time, it would feel to me, of course, Daniel is a very, very strong rapid player. He won the World Rapid, but I don't think he was a better rapid player at that time than Kayakhin. There is a debate on that. It's not completely. It's not like I put. Let's say if someone would put Peter Heine Nielsen instead of Laurent Fressinet, then it would be a shame. Kayakhin. No, but okay, Kayakhin. Why Kayakhin is not a better rapid player than Dubov? Even now.
Someone made this point to me at the time. And then a few months later, Dubov beat Kayakhin 4-0 in a match, and I enjoyed that tremendously. But I get your point.
Also, the someone that made the point to you at the time was Dubov, just to be precise. The someone that made the point to you at the time was Dubov, right?
I don't think so. No.
No. I know it is, actually, and I agree with him. But
you can argue that. I'm just saying there is. It's clear that Kayakhin and Filatov belong to the hardliners in the Russian Chess Federation, and they always been hanging out together. Well, also that Gureev is in the Chess Federation leadership. He's heavily sanctioned by basically. I think maybe Japan is not sanctioning him, but US, UK, EU, you name it, has him on the sanctions list. He was the one sitting on the.
So your recommendation is that the Russian Chess Federation shouldn't bring any sanctioned people because they are supporting Putin?
No, I think that FIDE has a decision that we cannot have sanctioned people in leaderships of federations. If we choose to have Russian chess players playing, and that's the situation at the moment, should they actually be allowed to bring in a bunch of sanctioned money? Not in my opinion.
I think you are missing the point, Peter. I'm really sorry about that.
Unlikely.
But actually, for me, the only interesting thing in that is that there is more, fights in pro-Putin guys than I would think. Actually, it's a surprise for me that I thought that pro-Putin guys were just all together and, there were no debate, no fights. But actually, they are just normal people. So there is some fights at some point. They disagree on stuff. And they are fighting each other in probably in a very dirty way in this election.
It's a huge fight.
I can imagine. Yeah, so that I didn't think that... anyone would dare to do it, and I was wrong because they seem to take it very seriously.
That sounds great, no? Let's get popcorn.
Yeah.
Also now, guys like Nepomniachtchi and Grishuk, they seem very annoyed by. I think it's I don't know if you can call it a good thing, but maybe not a terrible thing that there's some infighting there.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
They are heavily on team Filatov. You saw first my my good friend from last episode, Kobalya, was making statements that got into some of the Russian magazines, and then Grishuk gave a long interview afterwards, sort of dismantling kayaking. So
it's probably exactly.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that being against kayaking means being heavily on the other team.
No,
actually, is it just
you could argue that.
They're just I think that's the case. Actually, Grishuk was never a big fan. I think of Filatov.
Like I'm very much against kayaking, and I'm not on team.
Actually, I would rather see Filatov stay as a president. I mean, I don't care, but if I would have to vote, probably I would vote Filatov just as anti kayaking. If I would have to choose, but that would be not a pleasure. But I would probably do it.
I would run myself in lack of other options, but sure. So
your 3 votes would really swing.
That would work. No, but
why 3?
But it's. I mean, I would really expect that Filatov is going to win. Also, I mean, as mentioned on the previous episode, I mean, Filatov is a billionaire, great friend of France, and has a wine castle in Saint-Emilion. And, I would be extremely surprised if he doesn't win it. But there seems to be...
You think
my feeling is that there is something that... some information we don't... Well, it sounds strange to me. Kayakin will just run and lose heavily, but that's really my expectation. And, we'll see. But a lot of coverage in Russian media. The Russian Chess Federation is putting out a lot of info as well at the moment. So they seem to care tremendously, and it almost seems too much for just to be a complete charade, is my impression. That's my expert, uninformed opinion.
All right. Well, you will get a lot more information on next week's
you'll get the result.
Chicken Chess Club podcast. Well, we of course.
While we will get your expert opinion on something else, Jan, right?
My expert opinion on something else. Come on, your segues have been better. But your balls have never been better. I've been informed because the Chicken Chess Club is, of course, still brought to you by Manscaped. And I don't know about you. I just had a lovely shower, got everything freshened up down there with the Lawnmower 4.0. Because Manscaped, they were kind enough to give us everything, the performance package for 0. I got the lawnmower, which is for grooming your whatever you want to groom with it, frankly, but your pubic hair and your balls, the weed whacker for ear and nose hair, the crop preserver ball deodorant, which I just applied. I'm not using the toner. Don't be mad at me, Manscaped. I'm not using the toner just yet, but I brought the travel bag here with me to Sitges, and it's really, really good products that I enjoy. Laurent, how's your grooming career going?
Yeah, I'm using it as well, and it's been great. Because I was, as I said, I had a very bad experience a few years ago without Manscaped, and now with Manscaped, of course, I'm much happier and much. It feels good actually. It's a nice thing. It's a nice product, I would say.
I couldn't agree more. I did not bring it with me to Thailand. I played terribly there. Then I started using Manscaped, crushing in Bundesliga. I feel like a big weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Not literally off my shoulders. But I can really recommend it. Try it out.
So you played much better, yeah? It's what you meant.
Much, much better. I feel much better, play much better. It's the only way to boost your chess, I think, at this point. We're always trying to make this funny, but it's also good stuff. And of course, if you want to support this little podcast, do yourself a favor and get 20% off and free shipping with the code CHICKENS at Manscaped. That's Manscaped with a D.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped.com with the code CHICKENS. Unlock your confidence, your performance rating, and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Do it now and then let us know how it worked.
I'm really looking forward to Peter.
Peter's still very
tasting
quiet.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything. I was the one supposed to be responsible for the weed whacker who makes immaculate cuttings of your nose. And it's no pain and precision and perfect. So that I really, you know me, I like cutting edge technology. So I'm also very impressed.
Boom, there you go. Code chickens. What else has been happening in the chess world? I met Hans Niemann yesterday. That was exciting. I shook his hand. Are you supposed to shake his hand? I think so, no?
I actually didn't in World Teams. I was not really offered, but I know him. I mean, okay, yeah.
I'd never seen him before. I just saw him in the lobby with our boy Jordan, and I shook everybody's hand.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not a fan. Yeah. Okay, I really think... we won't get... We'll be sued for $100 million now. Okay. No, I mean, like... I'm not going to say anything, as I say in the US, but very sus. So no, I don't want to be in touch with the guy. Personally speaking, so that's purely personal.
But Jan is raising. I'm not sure I have brought it up in the feeder section, but I think.
But it's more of a no matter what you think about him. No, sorry, go ahead.
No, but this is. Are you supposed to shake somebody's hand no matter what? I mean, I think Dvorkovich came and gave hand to Boris Politz, who refused. But I'm shaking Dvorkovich's hand, despite that I'm writing the things about him that I do. No, I don't know what is the correct attitude here, and
No, but actually, it's very difficult to. I think I never did it. Like if someone gives you the hand, I mean, you have to shake it.
I mean,
it's also a common decency reflex. No, I'm not sure if it's a chicken thing, but it's so normal to me. I mean, you're standing there. I'm saying hi to Jordan. Hans is staying there. I'm saying hi. I'm Jan. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a statement about.
I had it years back with Danilov. I mean, it was clear that. Danilov blocked me on Twitter. I was very critical of him running for the ECU presidency and so on and so forth. So when I would meet Danilov, we would completely ignore each other. But I noticed this pattern that if I would meet him and Henrik Carlsen would always be there, he would greet Henrik and then he will also shake my hands because it seems strange not to. So, I mean, basically it was like if Henrik is there, we're shaking hand. If Henrik is not there, we're just completely ignoring each other. So there is some...
But with Henrik, it's probably a hug and kisses on the cheeks. No? Like, Silvio, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that one. That I think it's not exactly accurate, but So, I mean, no, it's a weird thing in that way. But, I mean, I don't know. But also, we had it in the chess world. You remember short Cheparinov incident, right? I mean, you are simply legally obliged to shake somebody's hand in chess or any kind of appropriate cultural gesture.
I don't think that applies to hotel lobbies.
Maybe actually not during since COVID. I think probably they changed everything. But
I understand, and maybe you can put your hand on your heart or whatever is acceptable in the culture you become from. But I mean,
that was very weird, and I think Cheparinov later admitted that it was a mistake.
Yeah. I mean,
not to do that, but everyone is making mistakes. So.
I mean, in shogi, we would typically whisper a Japanese greeting that I haven't learned by heart, and then you will bow for your opponent. I mean, there is different ways of doing it, but so. Mm-hmm.
So Niemann is in Sieges. It's a quite a strong event. You will be commenting all the way with Mr. Paul Borta.
Yeah, Peter's here. Mr. Dodgy is here. All the movers and shakers have summoned in Sieges.
Just to stay on the lawsuit, I mean, wasn't part of the lawsuit a conspiracy by one of the companies that's organizing Sieges, or am I wrong?
No.
I'm wrong, maybe? Okay, fair enough.
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
I don't remember.
I thought Chessable was a big sponsor of this thing, but no.
Chessable is a big sponsor of this thing? Mm-hmm. And Niemann is still playing it? So.
Yeah, but I thought that he's saying that, the conspiracy is their blog. Okay, don't, please, I have no clue. Leave me out of this. Go on.
Wow, everybody's so terrified of being sued by
not at all.
another 100 million.
I don't have 100 million.
You don't have 100 million, Laurent. Well.
Yeah, it's really a pity, but I would... I would give them to Hans with good pressure.
No, but it seems like Hans has no issue suing the company for 400 million and then playing in the Chessable Sunway Sieges Masters. It seems like it's two separate issues for him. like, I'm not sure if he wins prize money, if it gets deducted from his 100 million or how it works. We'll
yeah, it's
out.
true that it's a bit weird, but he just wants to play chess. It almost feels that it doesn't come from, actually, probably doesn't come from him completely, you know? This lawsuit, I mean, that he just wants to keep on playing chess, and probably some people advised him to do that.
Yeah, but
fair enough.
sometimes you have to...
It's also what he does, no?
No, I'm saying sometimes you have to separate the issues. Now, well, unfortunately, he's deceased, but there was a Danish chess guy I quite liked a lot. But I mean, I also turned him into the police for hacking my email account at some point. I mean, well, I think it's possible to separate things. We were good friends after that.
Wow, how many hacking police incidents have you had in your life?
I mean, well, this one was basically my teammate in Denmark, now sadly also deceased, who told me that, well, I mean, this guy has obviously hacked your email. You have to turn it into the police. So I did that.
So it's cool. I didn't have a chicken of the week. You will be my chicken for this week, as we still didn't have this hack. All the truth about the hack story episode. So you will be my chicken of the week.
We can.
So that's cool.
I mean, you think I'm holding back? Okay. I mean.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
So Niemann is playing in World Rapid and Blitz as well, where world champion Magnus Carlsen will also play. So that could be resign? Not going to the game?
Could be. I would guess he's consistent, no? Like he's not going to show up, no?
Well, if it's the last round playing for titles, that would be quite a shock. But probably, I think he's not going to play. Huh?
Well, then credit to Hans if it's the last round against Magnus playing for title. But yeah, I think Magnus is consistent.
I have absolutely no idea. You can also make the argument for that in official events. You cannot avoid it, so you do it. But any event where you are not forced to, you don't do it. I have no idea. I haven't discussed it. I mean, well, I don't even know that he's played online.
No, but Laurent and I have talked 50 times more with Magnus over the last 2 months than you. So
yeah.
We don't know either.
No, it seems that.
What else is happening in the chess world? The women's candidates. What's going on there, Peter?
Well, it's finished, and in a quite surprising manner, I would say that I saw Alexandra Goroshkina as the big favorite. She was also the big rating favorite, and she lost the World Championship match only in a tiebreak to the reigning champion Yu Wen-jun. So for me, I thought the absolutely most likely thing was that she would be the new challenger. But for that, she first had to be 2 Chinese players, and she actually fell on the first hurdle. She lost 2.5, 1.5 to Tan Xiongyi. And, well, the match was like 3 decently uneventful draws. And then in game number 4, you saw some Cambridge sprints. Tan was getting the two bishops. I think actually maybe she wasn't. No, she was getting some kind of center in a decently known line. Then Tan played some kind of side move, and Goroshkina had to play rather exact. But she sort of failed right away, being surprised in the opening. And my hunch was that she seemed very nervous, actually. Probably a lot was at stake for her. And from that point, well, Tan was playing the game rather well. Of course, in the conversion phase, once or twice, she could have been maybe doing it more efficiently. But basically, I think she never let the game out of the winning zone and converted it rather well. Although there was one specific moment where I think Gorosh could have made a draw around move 32 or 33. And well, it's one of these critical moments where you see the computer has some kind of strong defensive move, but it's very, very difficult for a human being to see. And you can see that she spent quite some time. She played something else and lost. So now the strange situation is that 2 Chinese players will play the candidates final to face another Chinese players. I mean, it brings back memories of Soviet chess at its absolute peak, basically, right? And Jan is smirking here.
It's amazing, actually.
No, congrats to Tan. I have no clue, of course, but it looks like the Chinese players who haven't been able to travel or play very much over the last 2.5 years with the heavy restrictions, like a lot of work has been done there. They crushed the World Team Championship against France and other top teams. And now Tan Xiongyi and Lei Tingzhe, they have looked in excellent shape. Ding, had a rough start to the candidates, but also played excellently there. I don't know, but it seems like the players have been working a lot in Chinese chess, even with the federation's backing. Sounded a bit unclear.
The woman part is very well known for many years. As in the Olympiads, it's generally a close race between Russia and China in the Olympiad. I mean, in the last, let's say, before in 2018 and before. So China has always been on the top in the women's section, but that's a bit surprising. They were they were trying to avoid this Russian-Ukrainian matchup, and then we end up with Chinese, three Chinese at the end. So yeah. Congrats to them.
I'm very happy to talk about politics, obviously, but just a chess note. I mean, while I thought it was quite surprising that both Li and Tan won their separate parts of the candidates tournaments, it was fully deserved. I agree with Jan. I mean, they played very well. Also, when I say that it was a surprise, Tan beat Koryoshkina. From a chess perspective, it particularly wasn't. She was just playing great chess all the way, not getting into any kind of troubles, drawing the black games quite efficiently, and then putting pressure with white, especially in the last game, successfully. I mean, it's very impressive. I mean, Koryoshkina, I thought stood out as, apart from, if we discount Hu Yifan, stood out as the second best player together with Yu Wenyun. We have even seen her compete in the Russian Open Championship quite successfully and such. I thought that she was on a higher level than everybody else, that she was like a 2-6 player, whatever, 2-5 something. But this didn't seem to be the case in this match, and it was quite impressive. But we can go back to chess politics if you want, Laurent.
Yeah. No, it also seems in general like a lot of Chinese players, and I think that includes Tan and Lei Tingzhe, are probably just underrated. Like clearly you could see in this Su World Team Championship, I'm pretty sure Li Di is stronger than his rating, and I think it just applies to a lot of them who clearly have been doing work and not playing that much. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, also I mean, Tang Zhongyi and actually at least Tang Zhongyi and Yu Wenyun have been around for quite some years. I played against them in Gibraltar. And they were good. I mean, actually, I agree with Peter that Yu Wenyun seemed, world number 2, or with Goryashkina, let's say. Hu Yifan is the best, of course, but then she seemed to be the best. But no surprise. I mean, to see them that strong.
Do we know if Zhu Wenyun is part of that circle? Does she live somewhere else? I don't know that much. She also hasn't played that much, but her rating dropped a bit recently. No, I used to think of her as a 2600 player, but I think she's down quite a bit from there.
My insights to Chinese chess is rather limited, I have to admit. I don't.
You don't have sources in Chinese chess like in Russian chess?
No, not. That is completely uncomparable. Of course, I have tried to squeeze some of the Chinese players I've spoken to, but it seems rather centralized. But that's more or less all I know. So no, I'm sorry, there I can't. Maybe I should start working on it, but no, I haven't really.
Zhu Wenyun is only only 25-55, which I played against her. She was 26-10.
But Jan makes a point about the sort of if you actually can trust the Chinese ratings. I mean, in general, I think the ELO system is incredibly good. But one of these experiments that never happens, hopefully, is sort of sending me to the Chinese league and play. I think I would lose an absurd amount of rating there. I don't know how you guys feel about it. But
of course.
We agree. We agree.
But I mean, also, put a rusty Jan straight from Thailand to Chinese league. I'm sorry, but
after Thailand, I'm always in shape.
Yeah,
I'm gonna crush that Chinese league.
Yeah.
No, some guys go there and do well. No, like Rapport, he loves it. Of course, he's a special talent. It's not like everybody loses all their rating. I think the discrepancy is just higher if you don't know someone who's been working but not been very active. You might get a 200 player who's incredibly good. While, I don't think Ding is underrated or Yu Yangyi.
No.
It's just that they had these 2.5 years without playing. So some of the second guard, if they put in the work, they can just...
Maybe it's a bit like European Opens. If you face Indian kids with 2100, that might also end up badly, right? I mean, there seems to be some pockets that needs a bit of correction, is my impression.
Indonesian kids were mean to me in Thailand.
Again, I mean, this is... No, I noticed one things that Danish junior players lose a lot of rating when they play international tournaments, and Danish senior players win a lot. And my theory is that it's because our ratings are correct while their opponents are not. So junior players are typically underrated in other countries, and senior players are overrated because, well, they're not playing enough. So, I mean, well, if you get my point. Anyway, I was distracted.
Makes some sense.
I think so.
But in general, also from the Olympiad, maybe Europe is just overrated. Like maybe the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's not underrated. It's just us.
Or maybe
slowly be brought down.
The players they send are the underrated ones, right? So, I mean,
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think it's all. It's all centralized. I think people just go to open tournaments if they feel.
No. I think someone was mentioning this in Thailand Open that you could face some very strong players you have never heard about before, right? And that didn't have. I mean, I think in the early stages, some unknown Chinese player won or was second or whatever with a pretty low rating. But you're the expert.
Yeah, I don't think any of the things you said are true. Other than you can, of course, face some very strong players you've never heard about. Okay. But I think that's in every.
Well, that's my network was saying that. But anyway, okay. But I mean. I, of course, also need to make the chess political point that how are they going to organize first a Chinese candidates match and then a Chinese World Championship final? I mean, it's not going to be that easy. Okay, Jan actually left. Well, you need to find sponsorship for it, and you need also it's a major part of FIDE's income these days that they are getting money from World Championship matches and such. And
I understand, but first of all, I think the prize fund is not that big, I mean, in a way.
They really have, if you go back to statements by many of them, it's supposed to be risen in female chess, and I think they have basically made certain promises.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So no, I'm a bit curious. Maybe it's easy to find sponsors in China. I have absolutely no idea, but. I mean,
I would really think so.
Mm-hmm. But, it could be. It also depends if the Chinese Federation is motivated to find money for that.
Why they wouldn't be motivated? Because they have already the title and they will keep it.
Because it's money for the players, and I mean, well, they're gonna get the match anyway. Why pay more for it? In a way, it's somehow I don't know how these things works in system like that. The same with
how would you do it? As a FIDE,
well, I'm saying that it's not that easy. If it was, let's say, a Russian Chinese match, it would be considerably easier to find a sponsor. Now with two Chinese players, it's. I mean, I don't know if chess is that popular, but of course the sums are. In a more global perspective, rather small. If there's a decision that
they always found some money to organize tournaments and so on. So I mean, the Chinese league, as you said,
mind games. You see,
was very strong. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were inviting a lot of foreigners. I was invited there. I mean, I never dare to go there because this urban legend of losing. I think it was when I was 27, so I was really scared. And also, you don't want to arrive like. Yeah. I would arrive 1 or 2 days before, and then I would be jet lagged. It also doesn't help your chess. So that's not either. I think it's also one of the reasons why many guys from Europe lost a lot of rating.
You won the best event ever in China.
But everyone was jet lagged.
Not the Chinese players.
I mean, there were two Chinese players in the field.
Okay.
So it was
what tournament are we talking about? Is it Mind Games 2012, which will have its 10-year anniversary in 2 days, is it?
It will be starting in two days.
It's 14th of December, yeah? I was waking up, I can tell you I was waking up at, during the tournament I won, 4, 5 a.m. And I was really hoping that the breakfast would open as soon as possible. I was really...
I was first at breakfast this morning. It opened at 7.
Wow.
I was there first. So my sleeping is messed up.
Okay. Yeah. That's weird. So that was weird in terms of jet lag, but probably, I don't know, maybe it helped me. So who knows? So
we will never find out. Is this it?
Yeah, about candidates. I think so. Yeah. So what's no, we're not going to talk about correspondence game.
No, Peter doesn't get another FIDE segment. He's gotten enough already today, no? Or Peter, is there pressing news? Like we can choose, but the problem is Peter updates our Google Doc more than we do. And then there's all this boring stuff in it, like ICCF 960 preliminaries. We have to put our own topics in, Laurent. Like, Laurent, what topics are close to your heart at this moment?
France in soccer, but I don't want to debate with you guys, actually. Because I'm completely sure about the outcome, so while you are not...
Well, if you're...
No, so it's a chess podcast. What chess topics?
Well, if you're sure...
chess topics, I don't have.
You can earn money on it. I mean...
I will, probably, yeah. But it's very small. Yeah, okay, I don't know. Let's see. Chess topics...
No, I will bet if you make the finals against Argentina, I'll take Argentina against France. But in the semis, I'm not giving you any action.
Yeah, okay. No, chess topics, I don't have that. No, I'm really sorry. I'm looking forward to this World Rapid and Blitz. Also, to the final part of this chess.com stuff, this speed championship. I think both of them are very exciting formats. So, yeah, that's...
Sitges, of course. Your boy Jules is here. Your boy Maxime Lagarde. Like, it's gonna be a big event. I'm not sure if Maxime is your boy. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, he's my boy as well, of course. While Jules will be in Sitges and in Kazakhstan as well. So, yeah, a lot of chess to watch.
Yeah. All right, Peter. You got lucky. Since we have nothing to say and no chess interests, we can come to all of yours. How's your ICCF 960 preliminaries?
Come on. I prefer FIDE, I'm sorry. No, I mean, something happened. You are winning against the guy without computer, and you are making draws with the guy.
I am pretty sure I'm beating a guy who is using some kind of computer, or I cannot not localize exactly what it is. And then, well, the other game I thought I was better in. I mean, it's strange. I just have a pair of bishops, and I should be better, but it's very difficult with computers. I mean, looking at playing...
It's tough to beat Stockfish 15 with 0-15.
No, but it's not Stockfish 15 even, but it's... it offends my chess. Well, you understand that in some chess 960 position, you get some kind of advantage there, so you're supposed to keep it. But no, it is more difficult than I thought. And some of the other games, it's very hard to get anything going. So I'm predicting at the moment 5 draws and 3 wins, and 2 of them against... well, I think everybody will beat the non-computer guy, obviously. And then I'm curious if anyone, if this guy that... I'm not sure how much computer he uses, if I have sort of made a stupid decision making a draw with black against him will hurt me, or that I'm the only one beating him with white. We will see about that. That's going to be decisive if I'm going to qualify for the next stage, and we can keep this gig going for a long time, or it's just going to be over rather soon. But, well, you can hope for whatever you want, Laurent. But again...
But I don't know why you made a draw as black? I mean, like, you were suspecting him already not to use a supercomputer?
No, not when it... he made a lot of Indian moves in this one, so you try to... Well, you try to play the best move.
No, because if you start suspecting that he's not using an engine, you can make the game last.
I mean, well, the guy who doesn't use an engine, I suspected after move 1, because I was clearly better with black already. Then you get a hint. I mean, if the guy plays the first line for the first 8 moves, you don't suspect it. But then I'm a little bit puzzled what he's actually using. Also, well, I mean, he still has, in one of the games, he has still, I mean, now we passed move 10, so he has 60 days left of thinking time. So he's basically just making a move within an hour. I had this idea of just trying to blitz him one evening, but I thought also that's a bit against the spirit of the event. But
yeah. I'm so incredibly bored by this. I don't want to be mean to Peter's hobbies. And we wish you luck.
Thanks a lot.
But
okay,
let's switch to the FIDE segment then.
You actually want to go to the FIDE segment?
I don't wish him any luck. Then luck has nothing to do with that.
I don't have very much to say. Well, I could use all the classical hits. I mean,
no, please don't.
No, we want something new.
We know about war criminals Shoigu and Peskov.
Okay, Gureyev, Shukov. No, how many can you name? Anyway, no. I mean, well, let's stick to a German guy, Thomas Bach, the head of IOC. He was not in an IOC meeting, but in a parallel organization this weekend, and he's talking about that. Maybe Russian and Belarusian athletes should be allowed to compete again. But
oh, hang on. That's IOC, whom you've been quoting excessively. For people aren't following the IOC recommendation to not have Russian athletes, right? Well, yeah, I had my doubts about IOC.
So do I. I have never praised the IOC. I'm just referring to what they actually...
Just using them for your argument.
Yeah, that's the family we are part of. I said this is not the...
FIDE is also the family we're part of.
I know, and I'm trying to change I have actually said we should change the policy in our family. I think I'm trying to do my... I cannot scream any louder. I can try, but I think you will not like it. No, anyway, you are disturbing me. This is not the IOC, but...
that is the idea.
But some kind of sister organization, but also... Well, they are basically saying that for the Paris Olympics, at the moment...
So the president of the IOC didn't speak for the IOC there.
It is kind of weird. I cannot explain it fully. But the point is, the current status has been that for the Paris Olympic in 2024, and we're talking about not the chess Olympic, but the real Olympics, that Russian and Belarusian athletes will not be given a chance to qualify because of sanctions. But now they are talking about maybe they should be allowed to compete in Asia rather than in Europe to try and qualify for the Olympiad. And there is an ongoing debate about that. You saw the same in chess, that the Russian Chess Federation was thinking, should they actually move to the Asian chess federation? And I mean, in case you haven't looked at Filatov's 7-point program for the upcoming elections, moving the chess federation to Asia instead of Russia is part of it. So that has been quite some debate, and it's quite noteworthy that I think the French president spoke something positively about it, Macron, but Ukrainian foreign minister Kuleba has spoken out very strongly against it. He says that basically it's not sports washing, it's whitewashing of countries if you start allowing its athletes in again. And well, if you absolutely want to, I can read his tweet that he says that since February, Russia has killed 184 Ukrainian athletes. And now Mr. Bach is quoting Emmanuel Macron as allegedly saying sports should not be politicized. And athletes from Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus should be treated equally. Using sports to whitewash war crimes is sickening. So now we got the topic back like this. But that's basically, it's become a discussion among really big players in the world. And that the IOC, at least, is having this test balloon to try and get to the stage of chess with Russian athletes being allowed to play individually and perhaps qualifying via the Asian sort of qualifiers. I assume you found it very interesting because there was new information.
No,
here.
What main thing I thought was interesting that you say Macron, not France, was saying. In general, you say French team was cheating.
Yeah.
At the Olympiad, French are saying that, but now you name the guy.
I was quoting the
the elected president.
I was quoting the tweet of Kuleba, the sort of that, and
no, but before you.
To do name dropping, I mean, also the French president, Macron, he's having this conference tomorrow, even attended by my wife, where there is a donor conference.
Wow.
And I think, Macron has been making some very strong pro-Ukrainian statements recently, but there seems to be a struggle if the sports world, how it should react. And
can you ask your wife if I can meet Macron? I would really like to, and if he can, he will go to Qatar to watch the match. He promised for the semi-final, and if she can get me a ticket. I mean,
you can show up at the Lithuanian
semi-final.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This I would be wrong on a lot of levels, but I mean, history being any guide, if you want to have football tickets, there is definitely people in FIDE you can ask for that.
That would be right for helping your friend to have a ticket for the game.
Again, I said that I'm sure there's people in FIDE you can ask, but I'm not one of them. But anyway, Jan, you want any questions?
Yeah, Jan, please.
Like this? Well,
when does it start, Jan?
No, frankly, we have this debate every week, and it's really not a hobby of mine on the Chicken Chess Club podcast. It's a big moral question if Russian athletes or chess players should be banned for the action of their dictators, and if we can call everything sports washing or whitewashing or not. And yeah, we're having the topic every week. I'm undecided on it. I'm not smart enough to give an opinion there. I know where you stand, so do the listeners. So yeah, there's not much I can say.
Okay. What do you think about FIDE's financial situation at the moment? Where is the money coming from?
I mean, we don't know. We don't know about FIDE financial situation. I mean, we have no clue.
We don't know. We don't think about it for a second outside of this podcast.
Okay. Well,
We can guess that Sutowski is cashing in. That's for sure.
Bonus, big bonus.
that much I think is settled, and I think you talk about his salary, his bonus, and his extra money for being head of a committee. But
So how much is he making per month? Let's give numbers. Is it public or not?
it's not public. No,
It's not public.
no.
Do you have some inside information?
I only have some educated guesses, but yeah,
Okay. No, I guess he's good. He's making a good living.
he's making more than you. Let's put it like that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. That I will bet on. I mean, but I know it's not transparent as promised by the administration before it got elected. But yeah, no. But my point is that where is FIDE having its income at the moment? I understand from matches and such, but we lost a lot of sponsorships in February because they said they canceled a lot of sponsor deals. But nothing new has been announced. Where is money coming from? You tell me.
Oof. We don't tell you. Emil will tell you on Twitter.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Ask Emil, please.
Yeah, I did.
Why?
He didn't always reply, and yeah.
How are we? I mean, is Emil invited on this podcast or not?
Always.
I have said I would debate him anywhere, so I assume it includes this podcast.
Yeah, but you
I have
would
noticed
prefer
that
on
when you two
But you should ask our opinions.
when you two appear without me and someone else, it seems to be rather successful. So maybe you could interview him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but we were not that much into these topics.
I can be in your earpiece. There's this trick they use that some guy.
Yeah, I would love nothing more than being your puppet for
Yeah.
voicing your video.
We were already tricked into that when we started this podcast, and you surprised us by running for
I surprised myself.
FIDE. Yeah, okay,
I was
but maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Who knows?
Well, Jan doesn't seem to encourage further talk about FIDE, and I have used my...
No, go ahead. Sorry, I'm just grumpy. I didn't say
I have
much.
used my prepared points, so we can move on.
All right, chicken of the week.
I understand it's becoming comical, but I noticed that some prominent players were not going to the Rapid and Blitz Championship, so I think it would be typical to nominate some of those.
I nominate Giri because he will play in Weikantsee, and I'm sure he'll make some draws. If he plays somewhere, I don't like it.
No, actually, after the match we saw,
And I will not nominate Ali Reza because I want to praise him for focusing on becoming world champion and not playing well.
No, I mean, after the match we saw, we should give him some.
Yeah,
he gave us some fun. I mean, of course,
Sorry.
for the world picture, of course, we can always nominate Giri, but that precise week, it was nice to watch his games, actually.
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
match.
So you
Peter,
don't have a chicken?
No,
Peter was, yeah.
Peter is my chicken.
Yeah, of course.
Me?
Because he reminded me of this. Yeah, you reminded me of this hack, and you still didn't. I mean, you promised some. I mean, I still don't know.
Well, what do you want to... I mean, I'm transparent. You can ask.
No, you are not transparent. I mean, do you know what happened?
I can't. No, I don't know. I cannot know it fully. I only know the details I have a clarification over. I mean, last time I heard was that Giri has taken it to the police, and now I don't have any further information.
Okay.
I would like to know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Well, what should I do? I mean, call the cops, or what do you expect? I mean, I don't really see any reasonable action from me.
Okay, so Jan, you nominated Giri,
Yeah, very much so.
and Peter Ali Reza. So, but is it final? I mean, I would think that Ali Reza could be a late comer into the list.
Well,
Also,
Wait,
Peter
still
didn't
thinking.
say Ali Reza.
no, but why not? I mean, it's a reasonable point. He should be playing. I think also Abdusattorov should be defending his title for all I know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a world champion at something, I feel there's a bit of a moral obligation to defend your title.
Yeah. A couple of times in a row at least. Yeah. So no, it's there is some big names again. I mean, Magnus and Nakamura, of course, could become a big show in many ways, but a couple of times is missing there. That's a pity. It's become an extremely good event. Probably still I mean, with Magnus playing, is the best events in terms of FIDE publicity at the moment. Even so, it would be cooler with everybody there, I think. I mean, this is some event that in the recent years has grown in popularity, prestige, and coverage, and that has been awesome.
And I wouldn't rule out that this.
But where's the money coming from?
People are
Well, they are coming from. Well, I don't think they have announced it officially yet, but of course they're coming from companies and individuals sanctioned by the state of Ukraine. That I have pointed out to you.
But the event is still awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to bait you.
No. We can go on about this forever.
This was the Chicken Chess Club podcast for this week. Apologies for the audio, for the bad mood, and for Laurent's good mood. We'll be back next week with more fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.